All right. Welcome once again, everyone, to our 1st of October 2025 Werewolf Technical Steering Committee meeting. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I did get Christian on here. So, uh, my priority for an agenda today is mostly about getting committee sentiment, sorry, on a 465 release and what we want to be in that and when we want to release that. But there are a few other things, starting with things that we weren't able to cover last time due to absences. But anything else that I should add to this agenda before we get started? Uh, Tim, I did add this thing about OpenEuler support. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, but I saw the PR come through and I thought it would probably be worth discussing. But anything else? All right, then Rose, why don't you kick us off with how your perspective on the user group meeting was and what you see for the future, and then just carry on to common room stuff if you want to. We did talk about the user group meeting last time. The recording is of course up for that, and there are some notes in the agenda from last time, but I think internally our response was reasonably positive. But what do you think? And then let me know if you need me to cancel out so you can share if there's anything.
Yeah, I thought that it went great. Josh Burks is a wonderful presenter, and he really knows his way around. I had several people reach out to me personally and say thank you, that it was great, ask me for his details, and also say, hey, we want what he's doing. Can you help us do it? I said, yes, actually, we can. Yeah, I thought it was great. I think that maybe obviously like, the flow and kind of clean that up a little bit, and then also the resources for people. So at the end, I shared, I can't share right now, but I can share this little page with you guys.
You should be able to share now if you want. I've
Oh,
stopped
okay.
mine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I have like more monitors now, and it's like, where's my mouse? Okay, here. That look good?
Yeah, I can
You
see
see
it.
it? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I figured that maybe instead of like the slides presentation of my stuff, even though I thought that was fun and cool, maybe sharing this out earlier, or maybe like linking it to the invitation would be okay. Obviously, we had the password finagle mishap that happened there. That was a bummer. But it seems like everyone came on. There was lots of people. So I thought this was pretty cool. Next time we have Scott Champagne from Redline that's going to come and do a presentation, which is cool that we've already got somebody on the list. I figure that maybe this list was good. Could maybe even send it out in the Slack channel, where it kind of gives just a little bit of like the date, when it's going to be. Maybe I could even put the Zoom link on there, and share out this here. It's got our Blue Sky, our X, our YouTube, our website, our Slack channel. What do you
Cool.
think about this document? And then also, I don't know if we wanted to have more details. I know that Tim, you had kind of suggested that there be like a separate one for each, maybe in like a tab. You know what I mean? So like each tab would kind of have its own, and maybe some more detailed notes about what was spoken about. There was
Yeah,
also a request for recording.
yeah, that's what we do in Carc. We don't use tabs, but Carc predates tabs. So, but regardless, it's usually one call doc per per ongoing meeting. Sometimes for the community meetings, though, like these, they are separate docs. So it really doesn't matter. Tabs kind of allows you to do a combination of both.
Yeah. And then is
With
there other information that you guys want on here? I guess it could have.
I put the call information on the top, like the date and the Zoom session and things like that. And the Zoom link, right?
Like the link.
Yep. The one with the integrated password would be great. Then they don't have to type it in.
So that would be like this link here.
Yeah, those fancy ones.
Although, is that link working or does that have the broken password in it still?
I'm sure Rose will take care of it later. I'll
Yeah.
also share with you, Rose, some cart calls that you might just want to take a look at how they're organized and steal some ideas from there.
Yeah, I think that there might need to be some testing, because I think
Yeah.
from my side it works fine, because it's already like I have like the Zoom side of it and also the calendar link side of it. So me testing it is not the greatest, because I
Yeah,
didn't
you
have
can.
any problems with it.
I was blocked by it last time, so if you want to send it to me, I can check and see if it's letting you in or not.
Okay, perfect. I shall.
But yeah, really cool on Redline coming in to give a talk. Is there something there about what they're gonna show off? No, so they're gonna show like the HA stuff, right? I thought that was what they were gonna show.
Yeah, well, I had reached out to this guy, Scott, because he posted on LinkedIn like a whole blog about Warewulf and using it in, large environments. It was really cool. So I was like, hey, man, thanks for doing that. And then we started kind of talking back and forth. And I said, hey, we have a user group. He's like, oh, that's so cool. Can I invite all my Linux people? I'm like, you sure can. And I was
Please
like,
do.
actually, would you like to come present? And he said, that'd be great. Yeah, I got a presentation. So let me talk with him exactly on what the topic is before I add it in here, because I just got so excited that somebody wanted to come present
Cool.
but I didn't clarify it. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that is that. If you actually wouldn't mind going on to Ian for a moment, because I had totally forgot about Common Room and wanting to show that off to you guys. We also, I think we're going to want to
Oh,
maybe
that's
turn off
right.
the recording for a second.
Yeah,
So
we did talk
yeah.
about that. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll pause that when we get there. But Ian, anything to share about what you need or the current state of Debian and Ubuntu packaging?
I don't need anything. I just have to sit down and get a reproducible methodology. Um, I have notes from when I was packaging other things, and some of it is not required necessary for this because I was pushing it up to a repo. So it's really just creating the environment again, a clean environment, build environment, and following the steps that Ubuntu has in place to do so. So I just have
Is there a
to.
tool like Mock for Debian or Ubuntu? Or like I don't know if you're familiar with Mock, but it's like it does the whole thing automated in a chroot. And I've never built a Deb before, so I don't know if there's anything like that.
There's some setup stuff, and then there is a tool that you run. It is called off top of my skull. What is it called?
DPKG build package, is that what it is?
Um, that doesn't ring a bell, but I mean, there's something. Well, let me see. I know I have notes somewhere. I was fiddling.
Why don't we don't need to put you on the spot or anything
No,
for that. It's mostly just if there's anything you need or anything we can do to support you in getting these. I know that we've gotten a few more requests for it,
mhm.
and if there's any way to help, hope that you'll reach
Yeah,
out and
no,
let people know.
I just got to dig time out to
Hmm.
do it between everything else that I'm playing with right now.
Sure.
Like I'm still trying to get DNS mask to work properly, which is a real
Okay.
head scratcher of its own. Um, yeah, I get a lull starting, I think the 6th, because one of the projects I'm on, the lead developer is on vacation. So I will have more time to throw at it because I'll be on hold with that project.
Okay, awesome. Rose, are you ready to go or not yet?
No, no, I'm having a little snafu here happening.
Okay,
So
okay.
sorry.
Well, let's maybe we'll talk about OpenEuler support. Um, Tim, what's going on there? I looked at your PR, and this PR is, I think, just a change to the spec file to use DNS mask for OpenEuler. But should we be building packages for OpenEuler in the CI/CD? Do you think it just makes sense to be doing that in OpenHPC? What are you thinking?
I think they might be able to use the RPMs directly. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Um, I just upstreamed some of the changes that they made because they are going to use DNS mask for their latest version as well. So they're
Okay.
using the latest versions of Warewulf and Rocky and Alma Linux recipes. So that was one of the changes that they made to the spec file directly that I'm just upstreaming. So
Okay,
yeah, I guess
fair
you
enough.
could make OpenEuler support with the RPM, but they also get it from OpenHPC. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're not
um,
specifically recommending it, I'm fine just assuming that it's in OpenHPC, and that's fine unless someone asks for it here.
what I wanted was them to be, folks to be able to download the Git file and do a build and be able to have it work. So
Sure. Okay.
and just make sure that there's not very many changes between upstream and OpenHPC. I'm
Yeah.
in the process of submitting a PR to upgrade to 464, assuming, and I'll do 465 whenever we get that. But all the changes in 464, there were some not big changes, but some changes in the spec file for 464. So going to 465 shouldn't be any problems at all. I think there's only one line
Yeah.
difference so far
Okay.
when I looked against main. So yeah, if they want to
And
support, I will suggest that they submit a PR for upstream support if they want that. But I figured out since I was in the file anyways, I would
sure.
just upstream it, make it easy.
Cool. I will move on then to the status of the 465 release. So right now, the only thing, just from a look at the changelog anyway, the only thing that is in this release is that I renamed the Debian.interfaces overlay to if up down because I have since been educated that their network configuration system is actually called if up down, which I did not know. And it's retained with symlinks. Actually, no, by the time the package comes in, it's a copy. So people that were using it as Debian.interfaces already, that'll be fine. It'll keep working. But this introduces the new name if up down. And this was originally motivated by work that Cedric here at CIQ was doing to boot Alpine. And when I looked into it, and found that Alpine uses a variant of if up down. I'm like, oh, we should just be able to use that. And why is it called Debian anyway? And oh, that was my fault. So that I think is just cleaning that up a little bit. But it seems pretty light for a whole release to just be that. So what else is in the release in terms of pull requests are these things. I guess there's two pull requests here that are closed. What? Um, oh yeah, I just fixed a documentation thing. So my question for the committee or for the anyone here really is first option, just release the way it is right now. Second option is try and get these PRs merged in and then release. I think probably not including this. I've been working on the Vagrant stuff and I'm trying to get it working in VMware on Mac OS so that I can validate that it works, but that's not done yet. And I think that shouldn't be a blocker, but maybe the rest of these could get merged in and then we could cut a release. And then maybe third option is there are a lot more issues in here uh, that, well, maybe not a lot more. So there's
I don't
one, two,
think we should cut a release right now. It's not so that it's this kind of, you are cutting a release because it's the time to cut one, but there's nothing in.
yeah. And that's basically what I'm saying. I think that maybe my preference is at least try and get these in, but are there things in here that don't have a pull request associated with them that we should try and get in before a release? I'm not too worried about timeline because it's not like we're bottlenecking on some big change that someone's waiting on right now. I'm just like, hey, let's try and deliver some value. And sometimes the release schedule helps me motivate myself to actually do Werewolf work.
So in terms of OpenHPC, the hope is to wrap up in the next couple of weeks on the 4x branch and to move into the 3x branch. There are a couple things that I have issues for that we could make things simpler. The main one is around the TFTP boot directory that does not get created when using DNS mask, because that's created by the TFTP package and associated SE Linux attributes to that. So we're currently it's taken care of as instructions in the recipe for OpenHPC 4x. So it's not a blocker, but if those were to go upstream, then we could remove those out of the instructions.
Is this one also kind of a similar state? I see your name on it. I expect that I should also label this one as OpenHPC to try and get that in, but would you consider it a similar priority?
That is a lower priority because the OpenHPC recipe, they explicitly set the SMS ETH internal network variable, both in the testing scripts, and the person that's doing the recipe will include that as well. So it's not a big deal in terms of that. If it's easy to do at the same time, it might be a way of doing it. I'm guessing it might be a little bit tricky and a little bit evasive. The other one, I don't think I have created an issue, but folks has been setting port equals 0, and I don't remember who said that, but that's to disable binding to port 53, which may cause some issues. So we may want to add that one to the DNS mask overlay as well. Since we're not
that's on the secure the secure mode of the Werewolf client is binding to that. Is that what it is?
No, it's just some implementations of resolvers will bind to star for port 53. I forget which one. And so it will blow up if that is the case.
Okay.
And I think our implementation of it in OpenHPC won't hit that because we don't explicitly include the loopback device. But I don't see any harm in putting that in the overlay since we're providing a DNS, sorry, we're not providing DNS.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, I mean, Christian, I know I've advocated in the past for just releasing on a schedule because it is. I actually don't feel that way this time. I think what's in there right now is pretty light. We shouldn't just release because of it. But I do want to just take a moment to be like, hey, what should we be prioritizing? So I've tagged those things that OpenHPC would like to have. And if we can get those in and maybe get some of these PRs merged, then maybe we can cut a release for OpenHPC to use and simplify things up for them.
I kind of think though that it might the timeline might be forced because you'd want to get that out in the next few days to get those out for testing and then integrate it upstream. It's all very straightforward stuff, but everyone needs to do testing, so it's not 2 weeks. Having it in 2 weeks is too late. Targeting the 4.1 for that might be an idea as well. I am trying to get in this disk provision to disk into OpenHPC in the next 2 week window. So that for me personally is a higher priority.
Okay.
But I don't see any blocking in terms of me having someone else do the work for the SE Linux and creating that directory. So
right. Oh, right, because it's not just creating the directory, it's having the context be set properly for it.
Yeah, and I think my gut feeling is either that will go swimmingly well or it'll be really a big pain to do. And if it my assumption, if it goes swimmingly well, And it's just an easy thing to do, then go for it. If it starts having some deep integration and who knows what's, then I would bail on it.
Cool. Okay.
Or has
I
contentious issues or anything like that. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I did see two issues come in. This is unrelated specifically to a release. And I want to get better at bringing these up in the meeting for discussion. When I went and looked, I was disappointed in myself at just how many issues I've tagged for discussion. And maybe we've discussed them and I just never unlabeled them. But these are at least two that came in since our last meeting. And I'm going to go back through other stuff that is labeled discuss and see if we still need to talk about them. But
So,
I
Jonathan, just one quick
yes.
interrupt. One thing
Yeah.
you may want to do or might help is put a link to the discuss tags in our meeting templates. So that's one of the recurring items that happens in our meeting is to review all the discuss ones.
I intend to do that. I only have not done that yet because right now it is like 50 things. So I want to do a quick once over before I set that expectation for the meeting to
Oh,
see if there's a
sorry to interrupt,
trough
but
yeah, no, that's great. I appreciate it. So what do people think about this? I think that I am not particularly positive on it, but I shouldn't just make that decision on my own.
So if the thing is, I don't know, real world experience for IP mice, I'm missing it for the last year. So I don't know if this option is really useful or not. What we could do there, we just can tell them he can change that file. That's the reason
Sure.
why it isn't compiled in that you can change it. For your requirements, you could even have different templates based on the profile. Perhaps we should emphasize this a bit more. I'm not willing, I'm not argumenting that I'm against it. I just want to say, oh, see, you can change it. We have there very good ways to do that.
You don't
Because we
even need to change
know,
it in the file though. Like this is a setting. You can define this. So this
I think
is
that there is an option somewhere in
yeah.
IPMI that which template to use.
Well, no,
Which,
that's not what I mean. I mean we have a first class like configuration parameter for setting this.
yeah,
And I think I had missed that they seem to not even know that. So it'll be in here and then in data structure and then down here in IPMI conf. That is
the template. There's a template
well,
parameter.
yeah, yes, that's true. But I mean, I think interface just specifies this value.
Oh,
Like if you just say that interface equals land plus, like that's where you can define this.
yeah, yeah. Perhaps
so
that's
an
it.
argument on his side is if you're going into the source code to find that out, then perhaps the information is a little too buried for him to find it.
Yeah,
So
fair enough. Okay. So I think I would like to at least respond now that I've even noticed that he's not asking for this to be just a default setting, but he seems to not know that you can set it. I'll start with that and then check to see if the documentation is not explaining this. Maybe we need to make sure like if I go to werewolf.org docs main and I write land plus in here, uh I mean there is at least that. It does show you how to do it here. But we could call out IPMI interface specifically as a thing, and I don't think we have. So that might be, yeah, it's not very good. It's just this.
This is just
Um,
yeah, Jonathan. I know I asked you about a long time ago. Did it ever get in there where you can do a soul deactivate on that?
I don't think so. There is an
Okay.
issue for it, but I'm pretty sure that we don't have a feature for it yet.
Okay.
Um, the other thing that came through here recently, actually, so that I don't forget, I'm gonna take this discuss off. So there was a recommendation here that if you have the uh, Werewolf Dracket package installed, that it should automatically include it when you build an init ramfs. And I think my concern with this is precisely the use case, Tim, that you were experiencing now, that there is, in fact, there are reasons why you might want to install this package on, let's say, the Werewolf server. and then not have the Warewulf server including this module by default. I think that in the future, like I have a desire, a dream in the future that we will have a first class command, Warewulf control command that creates the init ramfs by doing it inside the image, but so you don't have to specify all the arguments. And I think that would obsolete this concern. But what do others think about this?
I was a strong proponent for this until the use case that you just described. I did solve the problem myself, but yeah, installing it on a random machine would probably make it not boot anymore, which is not a good idea.
I don't think it would make it not boot because it only activates if it sees root equals dub init. So it wouldn't, I don't think it would break anything. It just includes it in the init ramfs unnecessarily.
Do we have any support issues with folks not running that? Other than they thought it would be a good idea? Like, is that the root cause of some help stuff in the past?
Maybe a couple times we've had people, I think more likely people just don't run Dracket at all. And by the time they know how to run Dracket, they're seeing the arguments in the list. Well, if there's no objection, I think I would basically relay this perspective. There are reasons to want to install this, and we don't want it on the Warewulf server, for example, and we don't want to disrupt the Warewulf server by default. And in the future, we hope to obsolete this by having first-class support and Warewulf control for it. But yeah, if there's any concerns with that, speak now. Oh yeah, and then this is that list of all the discussion issues. Tim, is just at the very bottom, and there are 2 pages of them. So I'll try and clean this list up a bit for our next meeting. In fact, it might already be at the top of this title one. No, it's not. Okay, I think it has been in the past. Rose, able to show common room? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I think I'm probably just going to stop the recording then, and we'll be done with that for now, because I don't think there'll be anything else to... I'll just pause. Maybe people want to talk more. Oh, that's the screen share. Here it is. All right. Again, thanks, Rose, for showing that off. For the sake of the recording, this is showing off data that CIQ is gathering about kind of sentiment analysis and activity that's going on in the Warewulf Slack. And this is something that we asked CIQ to do, is a stipulation of allowing CIQ to gather this data from the Warewulf Slack. But we're not putting it in the recording because it has individuals' names and things that they've posted. And while those things are public in the Warewulf Slack, they didn't necessarily expect their comments to be recorded and put on a YouTube video. So we don't want to accidentally publicize their stuff without their permission. So if you are interested in that in the future, come to the meeting, and we'd love to have you. Anything else that we need to discuss before we call it for today? All right. Well, everyone, thank you. I will respond to those 2 issues with discussion, and we'll work on getting a couple of issues and PRs merged in for OpenHPC, but otherwise, looks like we're in a reasonably good place and not too anxious about getting a next release out other than that. So, yeah, thanks everyone for your continued guidance and leadership and participation in this committee, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, see you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Bye all.